Angela, this is the feedback for you. I remind you that by now you have watched first the video on the proposal, so this has to be changed, and let me see if I have left it here. So it should have changed with all these changes I sent you on the video. Watch them, please. The previous link, and then in there I told you that some changes have to be made here, and this can change. You have to agree how you will going to present it. And also I told you that in your reference list you will have the readings, and you will have the data as appendices. That has been explained in the previous video. So I'm going to copy this because I want you to have both the same graph, and I'm going to explain to you how we're going to use it. That was yours. Okay, the page ahead was yours. I'm going to close this now, and I'm going to use this. Deleting the first component because we'll go, and I'm starting from the introduction. Your introduction is great. I remind you, the results do not include this. Okay, why? By now in the video it should be clear that, I'm reading again for you, that raw data is not required. A table should not show the same information on the chart. So that has been clarified. So this is introduction, and your results are there. I'm going to enter these results here. Control V. I'm not going to delete yours for a specific reason. I'll explain you why. You say a column graph that illustrates all the mean. It's not just presenting. You have to tell me what it shows you. How do I know this? Let me explain it there. When we read this information from here, it tells me that introduction, I have to include all these. I'm going back to this, and then results prepared earlier and should be doing this. You should say in words what the results are telling me. Okay, select the appropriate graph, use a description, label the axis, place the independent, use the correct scale. Okay, and I want you to tell me what it says. That's your discussion component. You read the information here. Very, very, very important. Okay. Now, what's missing from your introduction? Your introduction, it's only this. Minimum. I'm going to show you I hope I have it here. Let me find it to show you. I want you to use the introduction. Sorry, these are the videos. I want you to see the introduction as I ask you to use, and I'm spending some time now. Remember the pages I gave you, the pages I sent you. Let me download this from here because I think it will be easier. The investigations, and in the investigation I have given you how to write investigation, read, and annotated how to investigation report, that PDF. And in here, I want you to see how huge is the introduction. We say, oh, I'm sorry, this is how to write it. I'll keep it there. Um, I'm sorry, I want to, the B investigation report, or the A investigation report. So you see, you didn't use it. Angela, please use it. Look how huge is the introduction. You have only this component, and you don't have the focus on the investigation, the hypothesis of the investigation, what kind of data you're going to use, the responses were collected, how they're recorded, and how you're going to represent your data. This is paragraph 5432 from this document. Look at this, what we say in the introduction. We say, state the focus of the investigation, why the study was conducted, provide some background information, and then tell us how the data is going to be used, quantitative data, qualitative data, how you collect them. All these things are very important. If you watch this, and I really need you to understand this, this is an A thing. It would be an A thing. I'll explain you why it's not. Because it here says, a column graph will illustrate the difference between the participants' level of behavior and cognitive assertiveness according to the position family, because they're discussing oldest, middle, youngest, and only child. Remember? As your investigation, you did oldest, middle, and youngest. They had oldest, middle, youngest, and only child. It is a B plus. Why it's not a B? Because here they forget oldest, youngest child, and they have changed. Okay? And according to proposal was to be different, and they have changed from here. Now this girl here has the oldest and the youngest, and here it has the youngest and the oldest child. Yes, correct. But in the proposal they said that they will have what? The youngest, the middle, the oldest. Okay, and they don't. They should have 8 according to the proposal, and now they change, and they didn't go back to change it. If they had gone back to change it, it would be go better. That's why I say middle child. Where's the middle child? Where's the only child? Otherwise it would be correct. And this is wrong also because it doesn't start from the beginning. On the other side, your chart, okay, you start nicely from 0. You have your data nicely there. You have nice eldest, middle, youngest. Your hypothesis is the same, so you're going for an A. When, if this is huge, this has to be like this. Do it, Angela. You have to write again. Use it. I'm telling you again, I'm repeating this to you, and I'm going to show you the books. I'm going to return to you again and again and again until you give me an A. It's a joke, but I mean, look at this. All these, they're the ones used in the advised book, in the essentials. The teachers who have wrote these are those who are doing assessment, those who are moderating and marking. So they expect something like this. It is not copying and pasting. Use this, and if you change according to your numbers, it is not a copy and paste. I'll show you Erin's. Erin did it. And she did it right. I know probably you were in a hurry, but let me show you. I expect you to do it. You can write it. Your English are great. You will write it in the same way. That's why I'm spending all this words. Erin, not the video. I'll save it somewhere. Find the reasons. So you have to go and do it again. File, reason. I need to open Erin. Okay, I want to show you the introduction. Look at the introduction. Huge. Okay? Observational quantitative research design, manipulated the data, the IV. You see? Group decided should not manipulate the area, so that's why we decided that we're going to do subjective quantitative data collected. So my design will be such and such and such. Please go and change it. This is not enough. No. Discussion. Also it's a problem. This part is the ethical considerations. Let's go backwards. Let's go backwards. From here, okay? Conclusion. If you say this, implications of the research, you will get an A+. Implications of the research, final suggestion, future improvements. Write a conclusion, a result in relationship to the research question, hypothesis. So your conclusion says to you, this Barnett person said what? Firstborns are more assertive. What my research tells me? My research tells me, my findings tell me that these are assertive, these are not. Why? More research needed. Why? Because these children are 16, 17, 18. These children could be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These ones, they're old. They don't bother anymore for the babies. That's why they back off. And that's why, as you say here, the firstborns are dominant and disciplined compared to the youngest children, because they have learned to discipline themselves when needed. They're ambitious, they're assertive, they're dominant, okay, determined to succeed, fearful of losing the rank. Therefore, they fight for it, they go for it. Okay? End of discussion. I'm going back again. The conclusion has to be there with research. How you make it. Don't be scared of them. Ethical considerations. Okay? Strengths, weaknesses. Okay, you have to go further, take it deeper. Use this as an example. Use these words. External validity, internal validity, reliability, and strengths and weaknesses. I see strengths, I see weaknesses with external validity, internal validity, and reliability. I don't see that. I'm missing 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4. I see the ethics. I see 2, 1, 2. But I do not see sample size. Okay? It's very limited. So I'm going back to this one. Again, listen to this. Let's break it down. Wow factor. Focus. Hypothesis. How the data were collected. How the data will be used. Okay? Let's go back. Results. Discussion. A lot of discussion. Quality of the data, investigation conducted, different sets of conditions, temperature, all these are the weaknesses and the problems, what things should change. This is what things should change next time. In here you have a thing. Okay, tell me um, the data and what things should change. Evaluate the procedures of the investigation. Suggest improvements to the sample. What would happen there? Extraneous variables. They were hot, they were noisy, blah, blah, blah. So all of these have to be discussed. What else? The target population of the investigation. So they discuss this population. Angela, you're Asian. Let me explain this to you. Is our sample representative of the situation? Are you going to be ever assertive? Are you going to raise your voice and say, no, I want to do this and go and do it? No, you will follow. You will do what your mom says. So imagine that this class was full of Asian students, like the physics class. Would we have the same assertiveness level or it will be like 16? Exactly. It would be 16. Therefore, you need to understand and discuss issues related to population bias, age, gender, cultural anomalies. We do not represent all the sample. So it is unrepresentative into the boys, the girls, yes, other cultures. Read this. Public schools, private schools, other genders, northern, southern. Use this. Improvement. This is great job. Weakness of the experiment. Okay? Behavior and cognitive assertiveness. Questionnaires didn't provide questions addressing participant level of assertiveness towards their siblings. They didn't ask that. That's a great, great, great thing. Very good point. So please use this. Please use this. Increase the sample size. This investigation would be an A plus if this discussion, if this had a middle child and each discussion was perfect. The problem here is they don't refer numbers. You need to analyze numbers. You need to give me values. If they had values here and discuss it more, that will be an A plus. So, it is very shallow. At this level, it's C plus. And you see, nice appendix, as I requested you to do, and evaluation. Okay. Great. I'm going to send this to you. I want this done. You can have an extra time. What I want you to remember, I'm going to give you the information I sent. I'm going to give you the link to Erin's because I'm not having time now to discuss the data there. I want you to make the same discussions on there or change it a little bit, but make a similar discussion to what I asked her to discuss in the analysis of the data. Okay, so I want you to compare this to this. Okay, let me write all these possible comparisons I want you to do. If I color this 1, 2, 3. So 1 is comparing what's happening with the eldest child within. Compare the cognitive and the behavior. Number 2 is comparing the cognitive and the behavior for the middle child. This is the eldest child, cognitive and behavior, the middle child, cognitive and behavior, and this is the youngest child, cognitive and behavior. That's 1, 2, 3. Now, I want you to compare, let's change the color. I want you to compare this with this and this with that. That it is your number 4. So what are you doing in number 4? You're comparing the cognitive questionnaire between the eldest, the middle, and the youngest child. Okay, and then you compare as number 5, this with this and this with that. That's your number 5. Okay, if we see numbers, numerical values here, I want you to compare. This way I'm not going to send you errands. I'm going to tell you what to write, and please follow the video. I am going you to discuss one, and I want you to discuss one this way. In the eldest child, data so. Please rewind me and copy that. For the eldest child, data so that the cognitive and the behavior assertiveness are the same at 31.83 mean score, or with mean assertiveness score at 31.83, which means that the eldest child is behaving and acting and knowing what assertiveness is at the same level. For the middle child, the cognitive assertiveness mean score is 28.75, whereas the behavior assertiveness mean score is 32.25, which means that the middle child may not know, may not have cognition what assertiveness is, but behave more assertive. And the difference between this and this is significant. It is almost 4.5 units. Okay. In the youngest child, the same pattern observed in child 2 appears, with cognitive cognitive assertiveness mean score at 33.33 and behavior assertiveness mean score at 35.17. Again, that is, the behavior assertiveness is higher than the cognitive. Now, though, the difference between cognitive and behavior assertiveness mean is lower at 1.8 something. Okay, units difference. Comparing the cognitive mean scores, the cognitive assertiveness mean scores, we see that the eldest child has cognitive assertiveness mean score at 31.83 compared to the lower 28.75 of the middle child, and the very increased, significantly increased statistically, 33.3 of the youngest child. So data say, what the data say from number 4? Data say that in cognitive assertiveness, youngest child scores higher, with second the eldest child, and the middle child doesn't know what assertiveness is. Yes? Doesn't know. With regards to the behavior assertiveness questionnaire, the youngest child again has the highest score at mean score at 35.17, followed by 32.25, significant difference of 3.5 points with the middle child, and with the 31.83 of the youngest child, even more difference at, I want you to calculate the difference between here and here and here, which is like this. Oh, sorry. This and this, which is like 3.5. Okay. Whereas this and this is 3. Okay. Almost 3, whereas this is 3.5. This is the way we present the discussion. So what it tells us overall, this data? It tells us that in the sample we have analyzed, your hypothesis is not supported. You had this hypothesis because you read the literature. Okay, the literature said that the first child, the eldest child, is more assertive, but your hypothesis is not supported, probably because of the variations in the sample and the participants' characteristics. Or the other theory, that this Garnett person has done the assertiveness of adults, and these are not adults. So your data or your research has to be exactly redone. So I'm going to send this to you. I hope you get it now. Please listen to this again. Rewind me. I'm not going to speak to you anymore again in person. You can remember possibly what I say. Here you can listen again and again and again. Thank you.